I thought my best friend would always have my back, but little did I know that I was so wrong. And the nights that was supposed to be mine shattered me into pieces. You see, I didn't just lose a love that was never really mine. I'd lost a friend. And in that moment, it felt like friendship was worth far more than the sweetness of unrequited love. And trust me, you won't believe how it happened. But first, let me introduce myself. Hi, my name is Helly Herberts, just an ordinary girl from the wealthy Herberts family. And before you start imagining some Disney princess vibes, calm down. I am not exactly the most attractive girl in the room, but hey, I am still a 10 out of a 10, okay? Click that, and that counts for something, okay? Now let's get real. Every young girl at some point ends up crushing on that one boy, the one you dream about, dawdle his name in your notebook, imagine your wedding. Yeah, that boy. But here's the twist. It is one thing to crush on someone, and it's another thing entirely where your crush doesn't even notice you exist. That's been my life since 6th grade. I've been head over heels for Williams, the popular bad boy who has never ever noticed me. And fun part, we're not just on the same college, we are also next door neighbors. Talk about emotional damage. So the big question is this: will my longtime crush fade away, or will Rex finally fall in love with me? Well, let's find out together. And I know why you're here also. Yes, you're correct. My best friend did steal my crush. And today I am gonna give you all the tea. It is brimming hot, baby. This story didn't actually begin today. It goes all the way back to 6th grade. That was the first time I had skipped a beat when William's Rex walked through the classroom door. From that moment, I was never the same around him. At first, I told myself I could live with being just a background admirer. But as the years passed, that quiet crush turned into something else. Something sweet, yet painful. Like a heartbreak I carried every single day. And weirdly, it made me feel alive. I wanted more, believe me, but I didn't know how to get it. So I just stayed grateful for being close to him. After all, not only did we attend the same college, but believe it or not, we are next door neighbors. Crazy, right? Fate has a way of playing with you. And trust me, I didn't plan it. Anyway, just like every other day, I fell asleep, and the next morning, I was yanked out of my dreams by the sound of my alarm clock. Shut up from my deep sleep and thought. So I dragged myself to the bedroom, took a nice warm shower, and tried to convince myself that, hey, life was not that deep. Over to my wardrobe. Now, listen, I have never been a fashion killer. In fact, I am the exact opposite, a certified fashion blogger. Don't ask me how. Anyway, I ended up wearing my blue jeans and this knitted, multicolored cardigan that looks like it's been through several fashion committees and still got rejected. I ran my hands through my curly hair, and as always, it fell in place perfectly. Thank the Lord, my hair is always smooth, no stress. Honestly, that's my only bragging right. Next up, the kitchen. Breakfast of champions, pap with bacon. Don't judge me, it slaps. After that, I took one last look at myself, grabbed my bag, and stepped outside. As usual, my next door neighbor's car was still parked like it was glued to the spot. Typical. I hopped into my polished black Celine car. Yes, she is very shiny. And drove off to school, feeling like the main character of my own movie. So, picture this. Williams wakes up to the crashing sound coming from, you guessed it, my house, next door. And what's the first thing this guy mutters? Like, excuse me, sir, my existence is apparently disturbing your peace. Anyway, he rolls over and ta-da! There's a girl lying next to him. One of his late-night trophies from the club. The way he looks at her, pure disdain. Like, he already regretted everything. He runs a hand through that annoyingly perfect wavy black hair of his, sees his butt naked, and just casually wraps himself in the bedsheet like some Calvin Klein model. Because I think he is, actually. He steps out and finds his underwear scattered across the living room floor. And of course, he smirks, because bad boy always smirk. Remembering how the girl from last night had been unbuckling his belt, my belt, kissing him, my kiss, like they were in a music video. Yes, The living room was their stage. Tragic. And just when he's lost in his daisy flashback, a sound. This time it is me driving out. Irony. My annoyance keeps dragging him back to reality. At least it counts for something. He notices me in a kind of way, you know. Now, Williams tries to cool off in the kitchen with a glass of warm milk because apparently the bad boy life drains calcium. But then,
A few moments later. Eventually,
2 whole periods had passed, and then I heard it. The loud noise in the hallway. Oh, I already knew who it was. It could only be Rex Williams. Listen, let me tell you something about me. I never miss a day of Williams' grand entrances. He doesn't just walk into school. No, he rolls in like the main character, while the rest of us are just background extras. And I am happy to be in the background. And every single time he walks past me without looking, it feels like a tiny stab in my heart. Nobody knows about my very dramatic, very silent crush except my 2 best friends. Yes, you heard that right. I give you guys Lee Winters and Jane Summers.
a few moments later.
At the refectory, I couldn't help but notice him sitting with his besties, Kyle and Eric. And of course, the table wasn't complete without the popular squad of girls. Emily, the queen bee, cheerleader. Olive, her assistant cheerleader in crime. And Lee and Amy, the tag-alongs, I guess. And because life hates me, Emily was literally sitting on my husband's lap, Rex's lap, giggling like though we're staring in a rom-com.
2.5 hours later.
So Williams gets home, right? And his mom, Mrs. Williams, who by the way is the only human alive that can humble him, immediately starts yelling like,
Eventually.
And guess what? While he's busy convincing himself he doesn't care about me, he almost crashes into a sports car in the parking lot.
12 o'clock midnight.
So, back at home, it's evening and it's almost the weekend. You know how Friday night is. The three of us were sprawled across my living room couch. Popcorn ball halfway empty, eyes glued to the runway models strutting on TV. We were mid oohs and ahs when the sound of a car pulling into a driveway broke the moment. And just like that, he turned and walked away, leaving me at the door, gripping the frame for dear life. The second he was gone, Lynn and Jane popped up from behind the couch like meerkats. I squealed, diving onto the couch with a pillow over my face. My stomach fluttered at the thought. For once, it felt like my crush wasn't so impossible. That's exactly what we did. The whole night turned into a fashion boot camp, 3 laptops open, clothes tabs everywhere, squeals every 5 seconds. By midnight, we browsed almost every corner of the fashion universe, from sparkly dresses that cost a semester's tuition to DIY hacks that promised red carpet vibes on our budgets. For the first time ever, it felt like this party might actually change something. And it did change everything.
Day 2.
Okay, so fast forward to evening, and when I say evening, I mean the kind where your heart is racing because, tonight might just change everything. Williamson's house was already booming with music so loud it felt like the walls were vibrating. Typical Williams, right? Always over the top. I slept but enough to say, yeah, I came to the scene. Lynn, on the other hand, looked like she was ready to shut the whole party down in this grey, shiny fitted dress. And Jean, she kept it, spotted cheeking her suede Adidas dress. We all looked good. Nah, scratch that. We looked amazing. But deep down, I couldn't help wondering what those other girls would show up in. The ones Emily and her crew forever dressing like it's a runway. And just like that, we suited with a handshake, Tim Haley was ready. Now stepping outside, reality hit. Williams's street was packed with expensive cars like some celebrity event, and oh my gosh, there were couples literally making out against the walls like zero shame, people. I swear my cheeks turned red just walking past them. We took a deep breath together and walked in, and the moment we entered, chaos. Loud music, people grinding like they were auditioning for a music video, drinks spilling, girls shrieking, the kind of sound that makes you wonder if your ears will ever hear properly again. And there he was, Williams, standing in the middle like the king of the world, surrounded by girls, all was falling at his feet. I froze, completely frozen, like a goose that lost her gander, just watching. My friends started dancing, but me, I just stood there, staring at him and thinking, what on earth am I doing here? Then the unimaginable happened. He started walking up to me, and girl, I froze. It was like I was glued to the spot. Then he laughed. I could drown in that voice. I think that little conversation made my whole night, or so I thought.
A few moments later.
As Williams was enjoying himself, the Queen Bee finally arrived, shoving her other competitors away from Williams. With that, she stormed off. William decided to leave the party for some fresh air. After pacing back and forth for what felt like forever, Williams finally decided to step aside, but just as his hand brushed the door, bam! A girl collided with him, and cold liquid splashed all over his shirt. Her eyes went wide, her hands trembling as she fumbled to wipe it off at the back of her hand.